Hello, all you lovely people out there. Welcome back to 22 Elevate. I am your host, Tip, and today we are going to talk about goals. And get this, I usually do not like talking about goals. For whatever reason, I just never really felt passionate about it. And this morning, I woke up and I was like, I got to talk about goals today because I am apparently passionate about it today. Okay, so where do we start? Goals. We're in February right now, which means we're pretty much at the very end of those New Year resolutions. New Year's resolutions usually die around day 12 to 15. So that's like January 12th and 15th. That's when people just go, I am over this, or I can't do this anymore, or whatever their reasons are, they die. And I don't want your goals to die because our goals are our dreams and we need to be able to achieve our dreams. So, we're going to talk about them real quick. When you set a goal, I want you to take massive immediate action. And that is something that like Ed Milet says a lot, massive immediate action, because there is something called Lodi. Lodi is the law of diminishing intent. And what that does is it makes you go from, oh my gosh, I need to go do that right now. I think that's such a great idea. Like, why didn't I think of this before? To, eh, I guess I'm not that into it. Like, I don't need to be doing that. And it happens so quickly. So if we just talked about, like, if we just started this conversation and you're like, you know what? I have this goal that I do want to do. I need you to stop this video and it's going to be here when you come back. And I need you to go take that massive immediate action because the thing is, if you do that, you're going to get the emotions from it and you're going to start feeling it in your soul. And then that goal is going to become a lot more achievable and you're more likely to succeed. So I need you to go take that massive immediate action if right now you're like, I do have a goal and I need to do that. And then when you come back, then I want you to write it down because if you just have a goal and you sit there and write it down, it's more likely than not going to happen. Like, let me give you an example. Okay. So, in my past life, I used to film client testimonials for business owners because I work with a lot of business owners. So, that was just part of the service that we did. And I've gotten to a point where I still love to do the actual interviewing of the clients, but then I source it out to someone on my team to edit the videos. So yesterday, I was actually supposed to have a client testimonial because these people they're in the probate process. If you don't know what the probate process is in real estate, it's basically if someone in your family passes away and they have property and now it's gone to somebody else in the family. And so now that family member has to figure out, well, what am I going to do with this piece of property? Am I going to sell it? Am I going to keep it? Whatever. So these people are going through this, this tragic event in their family. And then now they have to deal with all the icks that come with it. And this is one of them. And when they have a really good experience with a real estate agent that helps with probate, it's amazing for them. I have seen where I have interviewed some of these clients where it's like, man, these people were their angel sent from heaven because we were going through this tough time and they just made us, our time so much easier. And that right there, that I love that because it helps me see this different part of human, like human nature that you normally don't see on a day-to-day basis. Because I mean, what kind of interactions do we usually have with each other? We have restaurants, we have grocery stores, and that's not always this kind of interaction where they're going through something and they're just pouring their heart out to you. So I still love doing those. So I will still take those on just because I'm like I want to talk to these people because it makes my heart happy to hear like stories like that. Anyways, I digress. So we were supposed to have this interview yesterday and they canceled. Um, they had to work and stuff like that. So we rescheduled it for tomorrow. And my girl Sandra, who I trust to edit my videos, she's like, "Oh, you didn't send me the video yesterday." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you. They rescheduled for tomorrow." And she says, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry." And I was like, don't be sorry. People reschedule all the time, especially if it doesn't have to do with them. Like they're not getting anything from it. So these people that have agreed to do the testimonials, they don't get anything from it. They don't make money off of it. They don't do anything. They're actually doing it out of the kindness of their hearts. They're kind of just to share kind of their piece of their heart into this video. And that's not always easy for people because they have to kind of like relive what they just went through. And again, it's usually a happy moment, but still, it's still like kind of like, okay, well, I'm not getting anything out of it. So I'm kind of just not going to make it a priority and put it on the back burner. Well, my point in that is that sometimes you need other people to accomplish your goal. So the reason why I'm filming these client testimonials is because the agent wants to be able to put these testimonials onto their website. The goal is to have these testimonials easily accessible to their potential clients on their website. And now they have this goal and now they have to wait for the client. They have to wait for me. And then now they have to wait for Sandra to edit the video and then get it uploaded to YouTube. And then they can place it on their website. So there's a couple different steps that they have to go through to achieve their goals. And your goals sometimes are the same way, especially if they are money oriented goals, because you can do what you're in control of. So, for example, the real estate agent, they could reach out to the client, they could reach out to me, and depending on how passionate they are about their goal, that's when they're going to reach out to me. Like if they had the idea, oh, I should get a testimonial from so and so, if they reach into their phone or reach to for their phone and started texting their client now and then sent me a text right after versus they go to sleep on it and then they're like, okay, I'll do this in the morning. And then they send us a text in the morning. And then it's like, oh, that's another like 12 hours or 24 hours after. So it's going to take that much longer for their goal to reach them, right? Same thing happens with your goals. Here's another example of that. So say me and you are at a restaurant. So say we're like, all right, let's go meet at a restaurant because I am so hungry. What do you want to eat? You want to eat Italian? Let's go to an Italian restaurant because I love Italian food. So we go to the restaurant and we get seated and the waiter comes up to us and he's like, I'm going to come back in 30 seconds for you to look at the menu and order. And we're like, perfect. We probably already know what we want, but we're going to look at the menu, come back in 30 seconds. Waiter comes back in 30 seconds and he's like, what can I get you to eat today? And you look at me and I'm like, okay, I guess I'll order first. So I go, can I have the lasagna, please? And he goes, okay, lasagna. Perfect. What would you like? And you look and you go, fettuccine Alfredo. And I go, oh, that sounds pretty good. No, I'll stick with the lasagna. So the waiter goes, okay, I'll put in your orders. And he leaves to his little area to go put in the order. And I go, oh, shoot. I don't eat beef, and lasagna has beef in it. Yes, you guys, that is a real thing. I don't eat beef because I throw up when I eat beef. And apparently it has to do something with like enzymes, like beef enzymes. Like if you don't eat beef for a long time, you stop producing the beef digesting enzymes. If I'm totally wrong about that, I need you guys to tell me because I am not a doctor and I've always been curious about that. So if you are a doctor or if you know about the whole beef enzyme thing, can you just comment and like tell me what the heck is going on with my body? Anyways, so I called the waiter over and I'm like, hey, waiter, like, I made a mistake. Can I change my order, please? He's like, yeah, what's going on? I'm like, I don't eat beef and the lasagna has beef. And he was like, well, yeah. Like, you should have known that. But I put in another order. I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll get the spaghetti with marinara sauce. And he's like, would you like some meatballs? There's turkey meatballs if you don't want the beef. And I'm like, no, that's okay. I'll just get just without the meat, just plain old spaghetti and marinara sauce. He was like, okay. He takes my order. He walks back over to put it into the computer. Maybe 2 minutes pass by, and I'm like, you know what? I do want that turkey meatball because I need some protein in my life. That sounds pretty good. So I'm like, hey, waiter, being, I don't usually like raise my hand and go, hey, waiter. I'm usually that person that's like make eye contact with me and then I'll talk to you. So so I get the waiter's attention, comes back, and he's like, how could I help you? And I'm like, can I actually add those turkey meatballs to the order? He's like, yeah, okay, no problem. Let me go do that. So he puts it in, da 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 da, turkey meatballs. And I'm sitting there and maybe we're talking, we're on Instagram looking at food or something like that. And we see this picture of star-shaped meatballs. I don't know if that's a real thing, guys, but if it's not, it should be star-shaped meatballs. And we're like, oh my gosh, we should ask if they could do this. And so I go, hey, waiter. He comes over and he's like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, okay, is there any way that you guys can do star-shaped meatballs? Like, it's the stupidest, craziest thing, but can you do these? And he's like, you know what? Let me go ask the chef if he could do it. So he comes back and he goes, well, the chef already made your meatballs, but he was so intrigued by the idea that he was like, yeah, I will make those. And I'm like, yeah, this is not a real story, by the way. I just made this up. I'm making this up as I go right now, you guys. And he's like, yeah. Oh no, I'm like, yeah. See, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna get star-shaped meatballs. And the uh the time that it took for me to make all those changes, it definitely increased our wait time. Well, your goals are like that too. Every time you put in a different order, your wait time goes up. So maybe you want a laptop, right? And you send that out to the new universe. You go, I want a laptop. Ding, order sent. And then you go, oh, I want a MacBook Air. Ding, order sent. You know what? I actually changed my mind and I want a MacBook Pro. Ding, order changed. Maybe later you're like, hey, you know what? I don't want to go with Apple products anymore. Maybe I want a Surface Book. Ding, order changed. So that order is going to take longer and longer and longer and longer. So, what can you do to avoid all the order changes that we as humans like to make? We can do SMART goals. And you know what? Okay. So I have this ish with SMART goals. When I first learned it, I did SMART goals like nobody's business. It was like, I was like robotic to the SMART goals. And I hated it because in my brain, I'm like, well, I feel like I'm not achieving these goals when I say I'm going to achieve them. And it turned out because I didn't do them correctly, first of all. So I actually made a worksheet for you guys with how to do the SMART goals. And I will go over what SMART goals are, but I just want to tell you about this real quick. Um, on 22 Elevate's website, we have a free membership. Yep, you heard me right. I said free membership. Um, but the free membership in there are different worksheets and different goodies for you guys. But the SMART goals worksheet is in there. So you can go, I will link it down in the description. And you can go to the website 22elevate.com and then hit membership, and it will bring you to that site. Anyways, SMART goals. SMART, it's an acronym. So S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, R stands for relevance, T stands for time bound. Time bound is another fancy word for deadlines, but they had to call it SMART and not SMART. Okay. Because acronyms are fun. Anyways, so the reason we want to do the SMART goals is because we also want to avoid loopholes. You know what a loophole is? Like, let's take that laptop example, right? So if I'm like, hey, I want a laptop, ding, order in. And maybe tomorrow my mom comes over and she's like, hey, I'm going to get a new laptop. Do you want my old one? Well, guess what? You just got a new laptop. It wasn't new for you. I mean, it wasn't new for mom, but it's new for you, right? So that counts. It's a laptop. So you need to be specific in writing your goals and make sure that it's not mama's laptop, right? Um, Another thing that I would like to do right now, we're switching gears, kind of. What I would like to do is an exercise to release energy. And if you guys have ever heard of tapping, it's kind of like tapping, but it's kind of my own version. So I don't know, I don't have a name for it. I don't know what you want to call it. Maybe you can call it like tips version of tapping, tips non-tapping version. I don't know. I'm just making things up now. Anyways, so if you've ever heard of tapping, it's a way to release energy, like stuck energy in your body. And you basically tap, I think it's like 8 or 9 key points on your body. It's like acupressure points. And that helps release the energy of whatever you're focused on. And you say like affirmations while you do it. Well, my ish with that is that you look like a monkey doing it. Does it work? Heck yeah. Okay. I have used this to like help me not get motion sick and to like get rid of headaches and to like release stuff on money and stuff like that. But I don't like looking like a monkey while I'm doing it because literally you are tapping your face and your body. So like you'll like tap like where your eyebrows are and then like the corner of your eye and you eventually get to like tap under your armpit and like on the top of your head. And I'm like, I'm in a grocery store. I don't want to be looking like a monkey tapping my armpit and my head. Okay. So I came up with something else. And I am a big fan of reflexology. If you guys don't know what reflexology is, it is like your hands and your feet, and then your feet, they have nerves that connect to different parts of your body. So it also holds energy, right? So my theory, and oh, there's a hair on the microphone, ADD. My theory is that if you massage those pressure points, those points on your hands, they will release the energy out from parts of your body. And I have tried this over and over, and I use this for myself all the time. And not to reinvent the wheel, but I totally reinvented the wheel, right? So we're going to do this together right now. I am going to say some affirmations about goals to help us release those energy from the goals and I mean, not from the goals, from our bodies so we can achieve the goals. And I want you to do this with me, okay? So the way I do it is and you can do it any way you want, okay? You're just massaging your hands. But I usually start from the palm and I usually start where my thumb is and I just kind of like do like a circular massage and I do it all the way like my hands, like up my fingers. And then I kind of do it like in my wrist too, because usually in my wrist, it hurts. But like, I usually go about 3 fingers down from where my hand is, like where, like I wear an Apple Watch, so it's like when I hit my Apple Watch, that's like the end of where I massage. But I do both hands, of course. So we're gonna do this together, okay? So this is kind of like a moment of peace and silence right now. So you're gonna just massage your hands. I want you to close your eyes and start massaging. Okay. So I'm gonna start saying affirmations. Thank you for an amazing life. I am so worthy of achieving these goals that I have. And when I achieve these goals, I'm going to look back at this moment and feel the energy that is coming from wanting to achieve these goals and feel very accomplished because I have now achieved these goals. Goals are like wants and needs. I understand that they are wants and needs. And even though they are wants and needs, they are still priority to me. And all is well in my world. I am grateful for every day to be able to achieve these goals. I release any resistance I have to these goals. When I write my goals, I write them easily and I can achieve them when I take massive immediate action. I release the energy that I had blocking any of these goals that I have. I let the universe take over and I will be very specific in my goals so that I don't put in extra orders. Once I put in an order for a goal, I don't redefine the goal. Instead, I take action on the goal. You may open your eyes. And it's as easy as that. You can kind of say whatever affirmations you want. Those were the ones that kind of came up to me. So how do you feel? Was that powerful? Do you feel like a release of energy? If anything, do your hands feel good? um, so when you say the affirmations, you can kind of play with them. You can write them beforehand, but I like to just do it then and there because I feel whatever needs to come out. And that's through repetition though. Like I've done a lot of that. So it kind of just comes out as whatever I feel like needs to come out. But if you're not used to doing affirmations or if you're not used to um, being more intentional with your words to release energy, then you can always write it down in the beginning. There's no problems with that. So that is the end of our segment for today. That is what I wanted to cover with goals. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank a few people. I want to thank Rafi, first of all, because she is helping me keep my business together. Thank you. And thank you to Sandra for inspiring the lovely story. And thank you to Sean for putting together this microphone and figuring out my audio for me. Yoo-hoo! And then thank you to Scott also for helping me figure out the software stuff. So, last but not least, I do want to thank our sponsors for today. Our sponsor for today is Sunshine on Tap. Sunshine on Tap is very special to me because it is put on by one of my best friends, Lauren. She is amazing, but we share kind of the same goals in life, which is to bring some love and positivity into the world because why not make the world a better place? Because we all live in it. So if you haven't watched Sunshine on Tap before or heard of Sunshine on Tap before, I highly recommend you go to their site. They're on social media, so you can find them on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. But Sunshine on Tap, go check them out and then make sure you do all the things that you do with social media things. So like, subscribe. The more you do that, the more episodes that I can do and the more guests we can have on our episodes as well. So please go do that and remember to go get that membership, the free membership, so that you can get access to that SMART worksheet. All right, everyone, have a wonderful day. Bye.